So the God of War Greek Saga Remastered Collection is one of the most highly rumored and anticipated announcements from PlayStation in quite a while. And after the February State of Play has come and gone, where does that leave us? Like, we didn't get the Greek Saga Collection during that State of Play. Should we abandon all hope, or should we still expect something for the 20th anniversary of God of War? Well, we have a lot to unpack. We're going to talk about the Greek Saga Remastered Collection, when it could possibly release, whether or not it's even real or not. So yeah, check the video chapters for easy viewing. Also, don't forget to enter the PS5 giveaway at 175k subscribers. Check the pinned comment for details on how to enter, and let's get into it. So for those of you that are kind of out of the loop, there's been a ton of leaks and rumors about a potential Greek Saga Remastered Collection. There's been leaks that have been corroborated by Insider Gaming. There was also the Feeling Examination leak that we're going to talk about pretty soon. Let's just say I don't think that dude is going to get tier 1. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I've been covering this remastered collection for quite a while in the hopes that it is indeed real, because usually whenever there's smoke, there's typically fire. And there's been a lot of smoke whenever it comes to this remastered collection. So yeah, prior to the State of Play, there was a leak from a Reddit user named Feeling Examination, who claimed that the remastered collection would be announced during the February 2025 State of Play, which that remaster was expected to have the first 3 God of War games, as well as the PSP titles, Chains of Olympus, Ghost of Sparta, and we were also supposed to get Ascension as well. And the development was reportedly finished, and a 2025 release was planned. And the release date was set to be aligned with the 20th anniversary of God of War, which is currently taking place in March of 2025. Well, after last week's State of Play, we didn't get the remastered collection. We did get other announcements like Saros and Days Gone Remastered for some reason. There was also Borderlands 4, but no mention of that Greek Saga remaster. So at the very least, the leaker's prediction about the announcement timing was totally incorrect, which that right there brings into question pretty much the entire leak in general. However, Feeling Examination has not been the only person to talk about the God of War Remastered Collection. Actually, they were one of the last people to. The leak originated from an insider known as Lunatic Ignis, who first shared information from their Discord, and they claimed that multiple God of War remasters were in the works, and the development was primarily handled by Nix's Software, with an announcement planned for March 2025 to coincide with that anniversary. And then just last week, we had the Insider Gaming report that confirmed that Kratos would be headed back to Greece, and it would be a younger Kratos, which also aligned with the remaster or remake rumors we've had for quite a while. But where does that leave us today? Well, we know that PlayStation has a very strong track record when it comes to remastering and remaking things. As evident from the State of Play, they literally remastered a PS4 game, but that game already looked amazing and played amazing. They didn't need to remaster it at all, but they decided to do it anyway. So if God of War 1, 2, and 3 were, PS4 games, we would probably already have remasters at this point, but they're not. Now, I can't definitively say like whether or not we're going to get a remastered collection. Like, that's just impossible to know. But what I will say is we have one opportunity left to truly know whether or not these leaks were real or not, and we will find out in March 2025. Specifically March 22nd. That is when we got the God of War 1 that released for PlayStation 2 in North America. That was on March 22nd, 2005, which honestly seems crazy to think about. The fact that Kratos has been around for 20 years at this point is just absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah, you would think that they would have something planned for one of the key IP in PlayStation. Like, God of War and Kratos has been a pillar. It's been a key character in PlayStation's universe. So you would think that they would have something planned for the 20th anniversary. Now, as I've mentioned on this channel before, there has been conflicting reports that there has been a remake in the works that's from the ground up by Nix's Software, which according to Insider Gaming, Kratos is going back to Greece and it will be a younger Kratos. So whether that's about a remaster or remake, or if it's a prequel game that's been highly rumored as well, it's hard saying though. But Insider Gaming did report on it, and they usually have a pretty good track record. They don't really report on things without a source or some sort of validity to it, which that would be absolutely wild to get a prequel game. Like, I'm really thinking and considering like where they would go with it. Like, I could see a scenario where Kratos starts off in Greece for a prequel game, and then we get to see the events that unfold when Kratos traveled to Egypt for the first time, which there has been rumors about Kratos going to Egypt as well. So this could be both of those rumors converging into one. Whereas Insider Gaming said, yes, the next game will have Kratos in Egypt and it will be a younger Kratos, but rather than him staying in Greece the entire time, we get to see the events of him traveling to Egypt, which that would be awesome. Like, Cory Barlog has stated many times that he's been wanting to tell the story about Kratos in Egypt. Like God of War 2018 was almost set in Egypt as well, so like they clearly want to tell a story there. It would give us the opportunity to go back to Greece and just see it in all of its glory with new gameplay and other, you know, stunning visuals, but also it would give Santa Monica Studios the opportunity to tell the story of Kratos in Egypt, even though we do have a bit of context regarding Kratos' time in Egypt in exile, but there is still a lot of story that could be told. With God of War Ragnarok Valhalla ending, we know Kratos is currently sitting on the throne. As the god of hope, his story feels like it's at its crossroads. God of War Ragnarok gave him and Atreus a pretty bittersweet resolution. Atreus is currently setting off and finding the giants, while Kratos is staying behind to rebuild and lead and, you know, serve as a god. So almost continuing the story of Kratos in its current state, like almost feels like it could overstretch that redemption arc. Like he has now mastered thyself. So his story, like immediately continuing and, you know, forcing conflict might not be very effective. However, a prequel wouldn't mean like them abandoning the Norse setting, or rather, you know, Dad Kratos forever. This could be just a detour. The God of War franchise has proven that it can reinvent itself, and a successful prequel could set the stage for a return to the present timeline later. And by that I mean like there could be stuff that Kratos does in his past with a prequel game that have consequences for the future Kratos that is currently sitting on the throne. Kratos' backstory still has plenty of gaps that they could explore. As I mentioned, his time in Egypt would be a really interesting aspect that I would love for them to explore. I think just the region and just the gods of Egypt are so awesome and just unique. And that's not to mention that if the prequel digs into Kratos' Greek roots, it might open the door to those other mythologies like Mesopotamia, Egyptian, as I mentioned, and more. So that would give Kratos the opportunity to, you know, just go there, wreak havoc before circling back to the Norse endgame. But with them doing that, it could bring narrative risks. For instance, the prequel's ending is already known, so whatever they do for a prequel, they would have to have that in mind. Like, we already know the events of the original God of War games, and narratively it has to make sense. Like, they can't just like completely deviate from what the games have already told, which that does bring a lot of challenges. There's also the fact that if we get a prequel game and like not a remake or anything like that, it would have to be developed by Santa Monica Studios and be a mainline God of War game. This isn't something that they can just like offload to Nixxes Software or any other development studio like Bluepoint. Now currently Santa Monica Studios is developing Cory Barlog's sci-fi game, but the studio is large enough where they could develop two things at once. Like, they could have a God of War prequel game in development, as well as help with a remastered collection, while at the same time Cory Barlog and the greater team is developing the new sci-fi game. But all in all, I think a prequel with younger Kratos could be a bold move, offering the mix of you know, the classic God of War chaos and storytelling that Santa Monica Studios was, you know, known for. And with Dad Kratos currently sitting on the throne as the God of Hope, this would be the perfect opportunity to revisit his origins. Like, it would be a bit weird narratively if like we finish the God of War Valhalla DLC, Kratos is like, okay, I'm done with this throne, let me go to another mythology and just start wreaking havoc. So with that being said, what is real and what's not? So we have the God of War Greek Saga Remastered Collection that's been highly rumored. We obviously didn't get it during the state of play, but we have the March 22nd anniversary of God of War coming up for their 20th anniversary, which that one I'm still on the fence. Like, in some ways I don't even think that this remastered collection is real, like straight up, unless we get another report soon that says that a remastered collection is happening on the 20th anniversary. I would say our dreams of that collection happening and the release on PC and stuff that we've wanted is probably just going to remain a dream. But when it comes to a remake, I do think that there's some validity to that. Like, we have Insider Gaming that has said the young Kratos will be featured in Greece with a new God of War game, which that can mean multiple things. Either a remake from the ground up, it could be just the remastered collection, or it could be a fully fledged prequel game. Now, as much as I would love a prequel, I don't think they're going to do that. I think the next God of War will likely go in the future. I don't think we're going to go back to the past. So a remake is a lot more likely than a prequel. Now, we also had confirmation that Bluepoint Games was developing a live service God of War game that has since been canceled. So perhaps Bluepoint will shift focus on working on a full from the ground up remake for God of War. It's hard saying. It could be cool. We'll have to wait and see though. The next month will be very telling when it comes to the God of War franchise. Like, I really hope we get something for the 20th anniversary, but right now it feels like they're just not going to do anything. After watching the state of play and not getting anything God of War related, my disappointment was immeasurable and my day was ruined, literally. But that's going to wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe with your noties on to stay up to date with all things gaming news and God of War related stuff. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.